All right, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to another week. My name is Tyler. If you're here for the first time, welcome. I'm really glad that you decided to hang out with us this morning. We got a fresh new look. I'm actually in the middle of still putting together some of it, but we have a little bit different look going on here this morning. So hopefully you're having a great morning, Monday morning. Glad that you're here. We're going to go ahead and get started. Before we do, if you're looking to take your trading to the next level, you can use the code DTJ, and that's going to give you anywhere from 30% all the way to currently 80% off your next evaluation and funded accounts, where you can preserve some of your capital, so to speak. So I'm working on a graphic right now that's going to kind of roll through the pros and cons of each of those. Hopefully I have that up in the middle of the stream today. I might actually try to see if I can put it on there, but it's going to be a good time here today. So let's go ahead, open in prayer, and then we will go ahead and get started. Father, we just honor you this morning. We thank you for your goodness and faithfulness. Thank you for another week. Thank you for the opportunity we have to trade and to be here as day traders. I pray a blessing over everyone here. Father, that they would flourish in their work. They would flourish in their trading and everything they set their hands to. Father, we honor you in everything that we say and do. And we dedicate today to you in Jesus' name. And everyone on the stream said amen. Amen, amen. Welcome, everyone. Abram, John, Vintage Trader, Valdo, Caleb, Lawrence, Hervey, Alexander, Levoy, Greth, F It Fitness, welcome. Wendy, good morning. Bernard, Trap, Cheese, Gavin, Chris, John. Hey guys. Welcome, welcome. Well, let's go ahead and do our thing this morning. Judah, will you close the door? You can still listen, but close the door for me. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with our higher time frame analysis. We're going to start from a weekly perspective, and we're going to pop out here and take a look and see what we got going on. So we have our previous week high, our previous week low, and we have our previous midpoint, which is sitting right here. That happens to be the opening price as well for the monthly candle, which is not surprising there from a weekly perspective. Now, if we continue this look right here, on obviously the level that I'm interested in here is the weekly fair value gap. I think that's where we're going to head to. That's going to be my draw on liquidity. This is a very large displacement. We had here, maybe we get a little bit of reprieve and then we continue lower. We'll see if that happens here today. Let me shrink my face. If we have a new setup, but still same issue of not shrinking my screen. Dropping down to the daily time frame, we have these two red days so far. We've already retraced back to the Friday's midpoint, which I like to use that as a draw on liquidity, but I haven't been on the charts at all. I haven't even looked. I'm looking at it for the first time here with you folks. So we ran into that previous week EQ, and now we are. Here's a little bit of if we drop down to a lower time frame, this is going to be this is going to be a breaker right here. And we also have this daily fair value gap. So if we come back up and tag that daily fair value gap, that would be somewhat I would be interested in that to find resistance and then potentially get a continuation lower. I think that's what I would prefer. The previous day high and previous day low are still intact. There's a 77% chance we're going to run one or the other. And then it drops down. It drops down to about 10% chance that we don't run either. So we plan on it always running a high or a low, and we can use that as our draw on liquidity, and then we just use the the odds that it's going to run in our favor. So dropping down to the 4-hour time frame, we got a lot of stuff on this chart. So I'm going to clean this up. I mean, I haven't cleaned this up in a little bit. I'm going to actually hide the SMTs for right now. It's bothering me. I can't. Okay, we got that gone. Sorry guys, I can't even focus until I clean up. I'm going to make the visibility less than an hour on these, some of these weeklies and dailies. It just doesn't make sense to have it on the hourly. It just clogs up my chart. Got 4 minutes till the market opens here. So really would like to see it run into this area and find resistance. It could also run higher. We have an opening range gap if we drop down to the hourly. We have this opening range gap that we never filled right here. So relatively equal highs and this opening range gap from last Friday has not been filled. That potentially could be a draw on liquidity or imbalance that we need to fill. So if price refuses to displace lower, this might be what it's reaching to cover. We also have the London high and the midnight open all around the monthly opening price right there. And if you look at our big drop from this high to this low, this red line right here is the midpoint. So equilibrium is sitting right here as well. So price could do its thing all the way up to here. I haven't even checked to see if we have any news here this morning. Calendar news. No news, it looks like. Tuesday we have PMI and Thursday we have unemployment. So let's go ahead and mark let's find our opening range gap first. Opening range to 15-minute here. I'm not going to be probably ready for the 930 model. Here's London low. Did it tag 930? Oh, it just tagged Friday's 930. That's attractive for potential reversal. All right, here, sweep that level, tag that level, and we could easily just drop here. I like that idea. Especially if we hit that right now. I'm not going to take anything here. I like the idea of it dropping here, though. We're too close to that imbalance, that daily. And then we also have that large untagged opening range gap sitting all right here. So all those factors keep me quiet off the open. We'll see if we get a pump and dump opportunity here. Jose, good morning. Traven, good morning. Wilhelm, Shane. Hopefully you guys are doing well here. We're going to be copy trading our accounts today. Probably do also a little bit of our personal account. London high has already been ran. So we have London low sitting over here. London low, and then we can also mark out midnight open here. So 9:30 candle just gave us a big wick. We dipped down into the 929 fair value gap, but no fair value gaps after 9:30 so far. Do I have anything special to plan this week? No, I have just chaos this week. It's overwhelming, to be honest. We got more cousins coming. We had cousins just leave about 10 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago. 2 cousins from one of us sisters, and now we got cousins from the other sister coming to stay with us. And 3 more kids in our house, and I'm going to be the one in charge. Yep, and then my one son started football 4 days a week, and the other son started football 3 days a week. It's a lot. It's a lot right now. To be honest, sitting down in front of my screen, being able to talk to you guys, is relaxing. It's relaxing. Can you believe that? Being on stream in front of people constantly is relaxing. It's crazy. It's crazy. It is relaxing. All right, so still waiting here. We have our indicators set up here right in front of us. Here we have a 30-minute, hourly, and 4-hour. The reason we have these is here so we can just reference if we get any sweeps of liquidity around the top of the hour. It helps us just gauge what's going on pretty quickly and efficiently. Thank you, Hervé. No fair value gaps, just kind of pushing higher. How do you guys like the color? How do you guys like the new screen? You guys like it? I got a new thing going on the bottom here in a second. I gotta put that. Chris, the faint candles are the indicators. Here are the indicators. You guys can copy them. Those are the ones that I use. I think all of them are free except the market time cycles one. All right, we're getting expansion candle 935. This is a new 5-minute candle. So if we jump to the 5-minute, let's see what it looks like. We got nice large candles on the 5-minute. So there's some liquidity sitting right here and equal highs sitting right here. That liquidity is the equal highs that I'm referring to. And then midpoint of the opening range gap, midpoint of the monthly range, the previous month range. A lot of up opportunity, it looks like here. I'm just going to sit on my hands, not really interested in trying to chase anything right now. Ultimately, I think fairly, not long term, but intermediate term, I think we're moving lower. And I absolutely could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'm going to miss a lot of opportunities today. But that's kind of where my head's at right now, especially since we're kind of pushing higher right off the open. Unless it wants to be a trend day, which I don't typically see a trend day followed by a trend day. It doesn't mean it can't be explosive, though. So we'll see what happens. I'm here from Africa. Welcome. Well, hang out with us a little bit. We'll talk about how to get started. Let's hit the like button, folks. If you want to do our day, if you want to get to 75 likes, then we'll go over our daily affirmation for the day. And it tells me you think I'm doing a good job. It tells me if you like the screen. It tells me if you like the screen, if it looks good, if it's simple, clean, clear. Let's go ahead and put our, we're going to use this as our first presented fair value gap. It's also a break. I'm going to guess it's a breakaway gap as well. Take a look how we have overlapping price action, a big expansion, and then from here we're going to have more overlapping price action. Tells me that this is the middle of an expansion move so far. ICT would call that a measuring gap. So if you go from the expansion point to the top of the fair value gap, it can be used as a potential target. That puts the one standard deviation coincidentally right at the monthly midpoint, right around the midpoint of that opening range gap. So do you see how I just did that? Low to the expansion candle. My guess is that we probably won't tag it. It could still be tagged, but my point is you use that. I mean, we have expansion and then a big expansion followed by more expansion. This is probably where it would end up going. There's really no place for us to participate in this, folks. The first order block is down here. Our first fair value gap is right here. So I'm not going to try to go long right here. It just doesn't make fiscal sense, I should say. While I'm waiting, I'm going to try to add a new little feature. Where is it? Can't be this one, is it? All right, so it's that one. Another push higher. Sorry guys, you're gonna see that for a second. This is the new thing that I wanted to get up on here. It's gonna just take 1 second. Crop top. So far, the expansion is as I expected. It's just not my model. When I say as expected, I mean, I guess that's what would happen, but I don't have the confidence enough to actually take it. Does that make sense? I mean, I'm not going to lie to you guys. If it's not, I mean, I think that's where it was going to go. I just wasn't completely confident. All right, hopefully that looks good. I had just wanted to take all of the prop firms that I have for you guys. I wanted to give you guys an insight view on some of the things that they offer, just right on the screen. So nice and subtle, just nothing major. All right, let's see what happens once we hit this 1 standard deviation. It wouldn't surprise me if we get a reaction right here. Nothing. Haven't done anything, folks. Haven't done nothing. Still just sitting here. Still just sitting here, just waiting. Waiting for something. Just waiting for something amazing, I guess. Who can tell me what that reference is from? Just popped in my head. No, it's not Bart Simpson. It's from The Incredibles, when the little boy is sitting in front of the house watching the dad on his little tricycle. Just waiting for something amazing, I guess. All right, one thing we didn't mark out our new week opening gap. Let's go ahead and mark that out. New week opening gap happens from the close of previous week to the open on Sunday. So we have from this low to this high, and then we put new week opening gap. I did it backwards. And then we can mark our months out, or mark the days out so I can keep track of it. So because the 713, I'm going to remove 713. It's been about a month. So once it's about a month, I usually remove those. 629, we can remove that. All right, so we are still filling in the new, the opening range gap from Friday. Let's pull over our London high, midnight open. I expect some type of retracement before then. If we get a decent retracement and an inversion higher, I may consider taking a long. But I really just I don't feel the pressure to try to make a trade right now. I just kind of want to wait and see how price formulates here. While we're sitting here waiting, I'll drop down to the 5-minute, and then let's go ahead and mark out our time frame on ES. So from a weekly perspective, we are coming up to the weekly order block right now. Move this a little further in so you guys can get a good look. From the daily, we've easily ran through the midpoint. Here's the daily fair value gap on ES. Here's London high on ES. And then dropping down to the hourly. We just ran a swing high right here. That's not sell sign, that's buy side liquidity. And then filling and going into this hourly. That seems like a good place to find some resistance here on ES. We'll see if it correlates with NQ. If we go to the hourly on NQ, that also is an hourly fair value gap. There is a fair value gap right here. You'll see that hourly fair value gap right there, but it's inside this order block. So if I would prefer it to find resistance here. If we're, let me just say this. If we are bearish, getting up into here seems a little much, personally. These swing lows and this hourly fair value gap and the low of this order block right here seems to me a place where I would want to see price reverse if we are indeed still bearish. That's what I would want to see. I think it's just too much to kind of reach all the way up there. We do have the 50% level there. I don't know if we want to get all the way up there. But at the same time, I don't want to try to take a short knowing we have some of this stuff sitting right there. Does that make sense? That's why I kind of just feel like let's just sit on our hands and let price kind of work itself out and then see what opportunities come up. If you still think we're bullish, this first presented fair value gap is, or not, excuse me, this fair value gap right here is where you would want to consider looking for a long. I'm not interested in it. Yes, New Week opening gap is the close of 4:14 p.m. 4:14. The easy answer is open up regular trading hours and you'll be able to see it. See the reaction to that fair value gap and how we're getting a green candle right now? That's kind of what you look for when you obviously want it to close green, ideally close green. Dev, what's up, my friend? How you doing? Yeah, that's right, Jose. That was the reference. I'm just waiting for something incredible, I guess. We're going to see something incredible today. We're going to see something incredible today. This could absolutely be the move. And if it is the move, I'm just not going to be a part of it. I've already accepted it. I don't know why. I just kind of feel like I want to sit on my hands. I haven't taken a trade at all this morning or on Sunday. Nothing. I just kind of feel like I want to be more picky. I want to be patient. Patient is it's just waiting. That there's this phrase I've been mulling over my head this weekend. Thinking about all the trades that I take, how many trades I've taken, how I feel like when I look at the losses that I have, most of them could have been avoided by simply trading less. And when you think about trading less, as a brand new trader, I was like, well, I want to get experience. I want to learn to trade. So I need to trade. And I get that. I totally get that logic. And honestly, I don't think it's wrong. But I think there's a power in waiting. There's a, think of it this way. The pain you get when you sit and wait, it's only pain. It's only waiting. There's always another trade. There's always another candle. There's always another opportunity. And the time will come. The opportunity will come. So far, I like that fair value gap that we reacted from to be a point of interest for a breaker to the downside. We got 4 minutes till 10 o'clock. Yep, new order block as well. So if it holds, great. If it doesn't, it's going to be a great point of interest. We're right at the new week opening gap from the 20th of July. We've reached the midpoint of the monthly range. So if it wants to display slower, I might be interested in that. I just got to be cautious, not on trying to get a big win and doing proper risk management, because we do have some interest up here. We do have some things up here. But we swept liquidity on ES. We're in an hourly fair value gap. We're in an hourly fair value gap here. That's what I would like to see, is this. We'll see if it gives it to us. Taven, I have a lot of videos on the breaker, but the breaker is basically, I'm just going to show you the pattern. The pattern is this. Make a high, make a low, make a higher high. We break through that low, and then we come back up and tag that low. That's where you take your trade, and you expect it to run that direction. It's my primary entry strategy. Breakers alone will not make you profitable. You got to tie breakers with understanding market flow, market structure, and liquidity. All of those terms are overlapping. They could mean the same thing as well. Two minutes till 10 o'clock. We'll see how 10 o'clock opens here. We just filled in that hourly fair value gap right here. We've just fully filled in that hourly fair value gap. So now that we have made another retracement and expanded higher, I can use this as the idea for my breaker. So this would just be a point. These are equal lows now. I'm treating that as equal lows. So a target, a point of interest that price could reach for. Here's 10 o'clock. A lot of overlapping price action right here. So in my mind, it's done its job, and we could see a reversal from here, or maybe a large retracement, whatever you want to call it. What were the requirements that you had to fulfill to get your Apex coupon code? I think I had to have over like $200 in commissions or something like that before they would give me a code. That was it. So you gotta sell using the generic code. I had to do that. I'm gonna mark out 10 o'clock. I just want to know where it's at. Ten, 15 more likes, guys, and then we'll do our daily affirmation. Last week we were green for the week. It was a great trading week overall. Grateful for that, wanting to extend that. And so patience really is the name of the game. If you can have proper risk management. And for risk management, the main thing that I teach is having the one rule above all else, and that is a max daily drawdown, max daily loss. If your max daily loss is $150, if you lose $150, you must close your accounts. That's the rule. When I look back at majority of my trading history, my worst days, it's because I didn't have that rule. I didn't respect that rule. So risk management and patience, because if you do have a rule that requires you to stop trading, if you take a certain dollar loss amount, well then that means you need to be more careful about the trades you take. That means you need to be more patient and waiting for the trades that look the best, right? I could have took one of these trades, but it's not necessarily one of my ideal models. So if I wait for the ideal model, then I have a better opportunity. Now, it may still give a move for a lesser model, for a lesser entry strategy, and that's fine. It may go without me if I choose not to take it. But as you learn to be more patient, then you take less setups, you avoid more bad trades, and you'll end up with a higher win percentage. So that's kind of what I would like to move to. I say that verbally, but we'll see how my actions play out here. I'm looking at that. Those animations on the bottom, and it just doesn't quite line up. So I might have to go back and fix all of that. I'm particular when it comes to my visuals, and that one just doesn't seem to line up quite where I want it to be. Just about there. Just about there. 6 more, and then we'll do our daily affirmation. Also, guys, I'm here to answer any questions that you guys want. We're kind of sitting, waiting. So if you have questions about anything, this would be the time. All right, let's do the daily affirmation real quick, and then we'll jump back into the charts. Let's see if it works here. Ooh, look at that background. Isn't that pretty? Look at that background. That's just pretty. That's not what I want. That's not what I want. So I've taken nothing there, as you guys can see. I've taken nothing. All right, let's take a look. Is that it? No, it's right here. All right, here's our daily affirmation for today, folks. August 4th, 2025, I do not carry the weight alone. In him I find rest for my weary soul, strength for my striving, and peace that stills every storm. Today I trade anxiety for assurance because he is my refuge. It doesn't matter what feelings you may have, what may be going on around you or inside of you. He is our refuge. He is our peace. And typically for me, when I have that unsettling feeling inside, or, I can't identify it, it's best not to make any decisions, do anything, but get to a place where you feel at peace before you can move on. So be a good trader is someone that is present with themselves. Learn to be present. Learn to acknowledge the feelings you're experiencing. Learn to acknowledge the emotions that are swirling around inside you and identify where they may be coming from, and then speak truth into those situations. When I have those feelings, because the enemy wants to steal, kill, and destroy, he's not going to stop. He's going to constantly try to attack us. The best approach is not to do anything until I reclaim that place of confidence. I reclaim that place of peace in my heart so that I can walk in confidence. So that I can trade with a clear mind. I'm not having emotions meddle in with my decision making. That was based on Matthew chapter 11. Jesus said, "Come to me, all who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest." Matthew 11:28. That's what it's based off of. Gavin, I agree. Max daily loss has been the only thing to keep my funded accounts surviving at times. It has definitely gotten me closer to a payout. Haven't had a payout yet, but I believe this is the month. That's what I'm talking about, Gavin. You keep following the rules, and I promise you it will follow. It will follow. It's a matter of time. I'm not ready yet, folks. I'm not ready yet. All right, here's where I'm at. I will take this inversion to the upside. That'll be 20 points if we close right above it. I'm going to add one contract right here.
Order submitted.
I'll add a second one if I need to, in case it just wants to expand and not give me a decent close. We'll see where it closes. All right, so see how it closed not inside it? This is the main reason why you don't try to front run it and why I went a smaller size. So I still only have one contract right now. I'll share my screen. We'll see about adding another one if we close above it. This London high midnight open is still grabbing my interest. That's ultimately why I think I'm taking this long. And technically, I haven't had my entry present itself yet. I got in early thinking we were going to get another expansion, and I was wrong. Taven, yes, I took a long. It's right around there. That would be the target. Stop loss technically is a close below that fair value gap when we get the close above. But we got to get that close first. Seeing if we're going to get a retracement down a little bit, and then I'll add a second contract. If not, I'll let this just run. Once we hit that high, I'll move my stop to break even. Technically, I should have it to break even right now.
Order submitted.
Seeing that as a dip inside that small fair value gap right here. Want to see that fair value gap hold and it closed green. It's a good sign right there. Let's see if we can get an expansion higher. Watching that high, we want to see that high ran relatively soon here. It's not a good sign here. All right, so once we hit this high, I'll be paying close attention. I want to see it expand through the high, not wick it. If it wicks the high, I'm probably going to close out at least one position. ES is pretty close to the daily fair value gap sitting above it. I don't like how long I'm sitting in this for, to be honest with you. Yeah, I saw the SMT. ES swept the high, NQ didn't. The only reason I'm okay with continue to wait is to see if we push higher towards this the daily fair value gap on NQ or ES. But it looks like it's probably going to fail. We have a fair value gap right here. I'm going to put this a little lower here. There's a fair value gap right here that we just tagged. But now that we close below this, technically we need to close our position. It probably should. Yeah, one entry model, two entry models. You can have multiple entry models, but if you're working with the same concepts of why you're taking the types of trades you're doing. So, for example, I trade in the or I trade ICT concepts. That's what I trade. So there's different entry models within ICT concepts, but most of my models are very close in similarity that I'll do variations of it. But you need to stick with a concepts, a certain concept for trading. Don't bounce around to different methods of trading, like one using heavy on the RSI, the other uses the VWAP, one uses liquidity, right? Don't bounce back and forth between those. So right now we're in consolidation. This is the worst type of position that you really want to trade in. So if you want to get out of a position, you absolutely could. And even if it runs to target, that's okay. You can. It's better to preserve your capital than take an unnecessary loss if we're in consolidation right here. I just know of what I've done is I would have sold here and then it would have ran to my target. So I'm just letting the trade play out and I'm not going to mess with it. And if it hits my stop loss, then I'm out of that trade. Looks like here it could actually hit. Yeah, we'll probably get smacked here.
Order canceled.
All right, so there's the stop. Why do I have something that's still in here?
Order submitted.
There's a order that was left on. Well, that didn't work out, so we wait. I don't like 10:30 anyway, so more than likely, if I'm going to take another trade, it will be closer to 11 o'clock. I didn't keep selling you. I just wasn't willing to sell my position. Today, my bias was bearish after liquidity on the 1 hour time frame got swept. Obviously, that didn't play out. However, I was wondering on a second opinion as to whether or not you think that's valid. Yes, Billy. The thing is, don't give up on your bias so quickly. If you're looking on the hourly time frame, how long will it take the hourly time frame to change directions? The fastest could be within the same candle. It could be the next hour, or it could be the hour after that. So technically, if you're doing it on an hourly perspective, give yourself 3 hours to see if it's true or not. That's really what you would have to do. Now, if you see liquidity and you're looking for that immediate reaction, then you can go, oh, I was wrong right now. Let's wait. Let's see what other structure plays out, but keep that on a piece of paper, on a sticky note, right in front of you, ready to reevaluate. All right, are we looking for a different level before we go short, right? So there's two things that you really have to identify. Number one, you got to come up with a bias. Your bias is the higher time frame direction of price, okay? Bearish would be that bias. Now, your narrative is how does that actually happen? So if your narrative was wrong, your bias could still be correct. You just got to come up with a new narrative. You got to come up with a new way to see how price may give you that bias. And if it plays out, that's where you take your trade. Tyler, I'm new here. Did I stick with one strategy? Or are you saying entry model? Yes, I answered that question. But I think we still go higher here right now. We got a 15-minute fair value gap right here we could tag, which is a little lower. And have that push higher. I didn't really feel bad about taking that long because technically we're still in discount. We're still in discount from this higher time frame drop that we experienced over the past couple days. Midpoint's right there, so technically we could still look for a long here and be okay. It just happened to be the wrong time. So Liam, I hope I answered that question. I don't think we're in premium. I think we're in discount. But it's all about how you look at the charts. I mean, you could, if you wanted, from a hourly perspective, you could just go from this high to this low for your hourly perspective and then say, oh, we're in premium because this is the midpoint here. But if you include this whole range, that's where I was looking as far as discount. We also have this breaker right here. So I like the idea of higher prices right now. I like the idea of potentially hitting this daily high, sweeps that liquidity, and then we kind of just play in here the rest of the day. Off topic, just thankful where our family is at. It's not about money as far as stuff, but being able to bless people and family. That's great. That's exciting. Look how price is just kind of going back and forth between making lower highs, sweeping some lows, and kind of just creating some liquidity right here. I think my next opportunity is going to wait for this drop into this 15-minute time frame, and I'm going to look for another trade going higher. Five minutes till the 11 a.m. macro, and then we'll see if anything pops up here. Yes, we let that big move happen, and we took a trade inside this consolidation, not realizing it was consolidation at the time, but it was. Is Monday okay to trade? Yeah, just need to be cautious that we could get more choppy price action. So far, the morning hasn't been very choppy at all. Even if you look at what we're doing right here, I see it as passing time. It's consolidation. It's a phase of price that's taking place right now. It's not seek and destroy conditions. It's not choppy. We're getting more bodies than wicks for the most part. But it's just a period of consolidation that's happening right now. So once we leave or we get a signal in price that tells us we're leaving this, then we can potentially look for another opportunity. This right here was my opportunity to go long. I liked this manipulation lower. We went into this order block here. We respected that order block here. We had an inversion. We did sweep our highs, but I was really just waiting for this one right here, and we never got it, unfortunately. So everything looked good on that, going back on my decision making. Could I have closed it when we hit here? I could have. I think it was just a personal decision that we had this lower fair value gap that I wanted to see if we got a push higher from that. We did, in fact, but that also failed. And that was at 10:26. So timing on all this just didn't line up. However, we were in the trade at 10:14. So our entry time was correct. It just was already transitioning into a consolidation period, and we just got caught up in it. So when you get caught up in that kind of stuff, your risk management is really what's going to save you. Or you just remove the trade altogether, and if it runs in your favor, then you just say missed opportunity, I'll get it next time. But right now, I feel like we're too close to these levels here that is preventing me from wanting to go short. And maybe we drop here, and then over noon or the PM session, I don't know when, we run eventually those highs. Am I saying your name right? Hervé? Hervé? Creating liquidity is the process of going up and down, creating highs and lows. So look at what price has done over the last 45 minutes to an hour. It made a high, made a low, made a high, made a low, made a high, made a lower low, made a high, made a low. So all those highs that I just marked out, liquidity is sitting above them. Buy orders. People that went short set their stops right here. So they went like this. Stops, right? Maybe they did something like that, or like that, or like that, or like that, right? So all these people that went short thinking we're going short went right here. So at some point in time, we will see an aggressive candle run through those shorts. It's created liquidity. It's creating liquidity for price to aggressively run and grab those stops. Buy orders for a continued move higher. Could we be wrong? Right now, it could be. Maybe it's not for right now. Maybe it's for tomorrow. Maybe it's for the end of the week. But if you do go short, you just got to make sure you're taking profit when it hits the key level. BC went short when we were going long, right? So he held through all this, just like I was holding through all this, but he went short. So his played out, potentially. I don't know if he sold it yet or not. But now that we hit this 15-minute, see, there's the 15-minute fair value gap right there. It could continue higher. Maybe it wants to or not. I don't know yet. 30-minute has swept it. The hourly has swept it, but it also swept liquidity from the 9 a.m. time frame. The 10 a.m. candle has swept. That was the 10 a.m. right here. There's just no opportunity for me right here. I might take a long here. Not going to lie. We'll see how it handles this. I want to see displacement too, telling me it's time. We did create, well, we did have an order block here that we've closed below, but I'm not quite convinced on it. I'm going to put one contract here again Let's see if this turns into the move that it's done everything that I wanted. What did I say? I said I wanted it to go here, and then I want to look for that long. So far, that's what I'm looking for. I'm going to go back to my original position size, and I'm going to move these to these highs because that's where I want it to go if it's going to go. This will be my last trade for today. So I hit 20 points, but I didn't sell it. I'm looking for that higher move. I'm here not to break even. I'm here to make money. And that would be 30 points right there. So everything I just described to you about liquidity being created right here, I want to see this candle aggressively run it. That's what I want to see. It's created the market structure for that opportunity. We had a manipulation leg down to the 15-minute. So that's what I want to see as far as an expansion is through that level. Now, if we don't get it, then I was wrong, and I'll be done trading on the day because I can't keep trading if I'm going to have incorrect analysis. Does that make sense? And it looks like I might have been wrong twice in a row. Or I'm just not closing my trades at a proper time and I'm wanting to get bigger moves. You see that? So I'm going to be done for today. That is 2 losing trades in a row. It was in my favor. It ran the levels, but it literally created these equal highs right here that just didn't look great. That's just unfortunate. Disappointing, to be honest. Pretty disappointing on my end. But it is what it is. I can't do anything about it. I followed my rules. I didn't take the profit where maybe I could have. It aggressively ran my stop, so didn't have opportunity to close the position or reevaluate. And if it goes back higher, it just tells me that this is a lot of manipulation that I probably don't want to play around with. Now it makes this upside move even more enticing. Do you see how we created more highs? Well, folks, I think what I'm going to do today is I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to go ahead, close my charts. End the stream for today. I'll be back here tomorrow, but risk management is everything right now. So if I want to make sure I'm not over trading, I have to end. So the best way to end is to get off the charts. So we'll be back here tomorrow. We have news tomorrow. So if you want to hang out then, we'll be back here 9:15 New York Standard Time to trade. Unfortunate loss today. I don't regret the trades that I took. They all looked good to me. We took inversions. We took a move higher towards liquidity points. It just didn't work out. So with that, folks, we are going to call it a day. God bless. And we'll see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.